gets you used to having bubbles in your face and people whacking your toes and behind you. 1, 2, 3. Morning, Trainiacs. I am 40 minutes late for the swim, and you know what? It's day 3 of rest week, and I don't care. One thing that I like to do on rest week, red kickboard, is because I have a tendency to, let's just call it what it is, I have a shameful straight arm catch when I'm not paying attention to it. So I like to spend one day, maybe 2 during rest week, focusing on some drills that work on a proper bent arm catch. I'll show you a little bit of it out there, and we'll talk later about the drills that I use. Crazy helpful. Probably about 2,000 meters into the swim by now. Suckers. Okay, before I do that, I didn't know that the gang was doing this drill today. They're doing an open water swim drill that'll get you comfortable with being on people's toes in a race. So you can see they're right in behind each other, like one by one. And what happens is the person out front swims up and goes to the wall and then goes off to the side. The person in behind them, everyone goes, and then the person who was in front gets onto the back and looks to get on everyone's toes immediately. So it's like a train that the first person just keeps peeling off and everyone goes in behind in as little time as possible, touching toes. It's a good drill. It gets you used to having bubbles in your face and people whacking your toes and behind you. That's that, 1,100 easy meters. Give the gang just 2 days of rest and all of a sudden everyone's personalities come back. Okay, a little bit of a maintenance routine off to the office. Got meetings all morning, but this afternoon I'll explain to you what those drills were all about and how to do them. See ya. So I promised you guys that I would explain what that drill set is about. Like I mentioned this morning, during rest week, I like to do at least 1 swim a week, or maybe 2 swims during that rest week where I'm focused not on anything but correcting some deficiencies in my stroke. And one of the biggest deficiencies in my stroke is that I have, we're gonna move this back, stand up. I have a straight arm catch. So if you're looking at my stroke from the front, I am often like this. And where you wanna be is like that. Bent arm kind of like this, somewhere around 90 degrees. And the reason for that is, think of it this way. When you're pulling yourself out of the pool, your strongest position is when you are getting up and pushing yourself that way. You're going in and you're tight and you're pushing yourself that way. You're not ever pulling yourself out of the pool like this. When all of the force is way out here, it puts so much leverage on your shoulder that you'll often develop shoulder issues. So one thing that I'm working on is getting that nice front of the stroke as you reach out, making sure that you lead with the front of your hand and you get a nice bent elbow catch. Some of the things that you can do to work on all deficiencies in your stroke are slowing things down and actually doing drills that isolate just that movement. So what I was doing today is basically I was building a stroke from scratch. So I threw on those fins so I didn't have to worry about keeping my legs horizontal with the water. That was taken care of by the fins. I put on the snorkel so I didn't have to worry about breathing. And then all I did was focus on that bent elbow. So I started kicking out with doing just this over and over. I was just kicking really slowly, going like this, getting in the habit of starting with my fingertips and moving down. And what I was looking for is seeing my elbow up towards the surface of the water and making sure that my shoulder wasn't going like this. So starting just with a steady shoulder and going like that. On the next lap, same sort of thing, but then I incorporated the body roll. So rolling and getting used to doing that. Then on the next lap, same sort of thing, going and pushing down and actually recovering with my elbow under the water instead of bringing it all the way over, which is another thing that I'd have to worry about. Going like this, pushing back, coming forward. Then we get into what I think is one of the best drills of all time that I learned from a high performance youth swimming coach that sometimes helps coach us. It's called the skull 10 drill. Sculling is just going like this in the water, and what he gets you to do to feel where that catch should be, you basically have no choice but to get your hand in the proper position. Do a stroke and sculling to the count of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What ends up happening is you're going to find that there's a nice sweet spot where you can actually feel that there's some drag in the water, and that feeling of the drag is actually what you're going to be able to push off of. So that is what I do every couple of weeks to make sure that I've constantly got the feeling for getting that catch. So I did 600 meters of drill, doing that, making sure that I had the feel. Then I went and did 8 50-meter fast efforts in the pool because, like I said, during rest week, you want to continue doing some fast efforts. You don't want to just become lethargic and do nothing. So I did those 8 50-meter efforts, all the while remembering what that felt like getting that catch at the front of the stroke. We'll see if we can find some videos. Might link it there and there, that you can see a difference between a year ago Taren, just dead straight arm, and then today Taren, where I've actually got a little bit of a bent arm. It's still not great, but at least it's better than what it was. And you know what? That's it for today. I even brought my running shoes and thought that I had a run at the end of the day. I just checked the spreadsheet and coach says no run. This rest week is awesome. As I've mentioned before, it's not doing anything, but compared to where it was last week, it's pretty close. And I dig it. So there you go, gang. Swimming tip of the day. Mind your catch. Mind your catch. Okay, see you tomorrow.